Okay, welcome back, everyone. This is round three. The question is, would following annual yield limits be a better way to regulate cannabis production? I know this is very similar to the last question, but if anyone has any more thoughts about the idea of a yield limit rather than a space limit, please feel free to speak up.
This is Nick with Sunco, and I know we've already sort of answered this question largely for most people, but I just wanted to add my thoughts that I think that it's not a good idea overall. I think it raises more questions than what solutions it brings to the table. And I guess I could just kind of leave it at that and just add my third or fourth or fifth or whatever that it's not a good idea.
Okay. Thank you, Nick.
I had another comment about it. If you tie the regulation and I assume potentially also the fee to have that directly to the product, it looks more like a tax, and so you might get people complaining it's really a tax now, So that's my other comment.
I think inherently it just kind of, outside of just being a bad idea overall, I think it also stifles innovation. Like I said, if people are, even outdoor we have a lot more variables, but even indoor, if they get better at what they do, it's like they're gonna get penalized for it, and that seems like kind of unattractive. He's kind of unprogressive, really. And along with the ideas of then potentially people might then also go back to just growing heavy yielders, make their plan as simple as possible, and not really, I don't know. I think it would just take some diversity out of it is all, I suppose. Like, with that.
This is Marcus from Edgemont. Just want to reiterate what everyone else has said. I am against this idea.
Maybe what we can discuss is what some ideas about canopy. Once interstate, we keep our canopy the way we keep it now with further defined rules, but then we work on what kind of legislation can you guys set up to where when interstate commerce becomes available, we can then be competitive. Like there has to be some way for these canopy rules to then be able to be changed pretty fast. Maybe that's a conversation we can have right now, because we're not going to really talk about this much more. Kind of consensus on it. No one? Good.
Since there's time to make like caveats and stuff.
Yeah. Go ahead.
If the federal government makes changes, it could be that this would be like the best change ever, and we'd all be like knocking down your door to make the change. So I think in this industry, we just always have to be ready, and I think you're getting good sentiment for the time right now, but changes could make this change a good change, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's hard to know what the landscape is going to look like if that happens, or when it happens.
Yep.
So imagine it would be somehow allowing us more grow space when that happens, as opposed to like limiting us. in order to compete with some of these larger entities in different states.
Mhm. Well, the states that don't have a legal market yet would, if they entered the market, that that could be some new sources of customers for Washington. So
Yeah, I would actually say I kind of disagree with Mark there and say that I think this is almost an even worse idea in the context of an export market because it's extremely complicated. And I think our goal post federal status change should be to simplify these sorts of limits so they're either eliminated or quite limited. Meaning that they don't have much of an impact on our operations. Because I think most of the logic of these limits is about controlling diversion. It's not about controlling the market. And I think we need to try to move away from that as quickly as we can post federalization and move to a simple, clear, and consistent framework.
Yeah, I think the elephant in the room is we don't know what the elephant in the room is going to do. So, we think the path is kind of paved, but we should be ready no matter what. And I think we agree that right now how it looks, even in the future, this wouldn't be a good change. But it's always good to get your Rolodex of changes ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Mark. I think we're just about to head back here, so